Alright, okay. We're back. I fixed my counter. Well, I didn't fix my counter. It definitely has a problem. Serial communication keeps dropping out randomly, so I just updated the Python code to do some checks to see if it drops communication. If it drops communication, we'll pick it back up and retry, and it seems like we can do it all within 1 second, so the counting data actually is still valid because you have 1 second before the counting data updates in there. But highlights that this machine is on its last leg, so welcome to my life. Alright, we're going to do this really fast because I don't have very much time. I don't know how long this machine's going to stay up for. It's literally on its last leg. So first I'm going to do is bring concentration up to about 20,000 particles per cc, put our zero count filter on there just to make sure that the system goes to zero. Goes to zero, we'll start a test. We have 3 control masks. As always, we do our N100 control mask, the N95 control mask, the 3M8210. And sorry it's so bright in here. I don't know why. I mean, I'm sitting against the sun. The sun's coming in this morning. And then we'll also do the air clean mask as well. To do that. All right. I'm going to get my fan adjusted here. Alright, concentration is coming up. We are at 17,000 particles per cc. You can see that concentration jump around a little bit because I just turned the generator on, and depending on where I put the sampling tube, it's gonna depend on that. So I'll just let it stabilize here for a second. Alright, so should be all good now. Alright, God, that's a pain in the butt to fix. Alright, so concentration is up at let's stabilize here for a second. While we watch, I'm gonna just see how often I'm having to retry. Yeah, about 1 in 10 measurements. So it could be my USB to serial adapter as well. So it's hard to say who's the culprit. Okay, so we're 22,000 particles per cc. I'm going to connect the zero count filter. Boom, connect that on there, and then you're going to watch the concentration plummet. Which is exactly what we'd expect to happen. Concentration's going down. It's down to 152 particles per cc, the 5-second average, so we're down below 1 particle per cc. If I hit clear, a little further drop because there's a little bug in this, so now we're at less than 0.008. So we basically have gone down to 0. So the zero count works, so CPC has full range capability. So we'll start with move this chair back a little bit. I don't know, it's not really a chair, it's actually a step stool which I'm sitting on, so I'm closer to the camera from here on now, but it's not really a great check. Alright, so zero count checks out. Let's go ahead and pull that off. You'll watch that concentration spike back up. There you go. Concentration spikes back up. And you'll see that it had this kind of general trend down, and that would have happened no matter what. So let's go ahead and get ready for the N100. We'll let it stabilize for a second here. I want to get that 20-second average to stabilize. There you go. So we'll just go ahead and jump in my this here. Today is 08/14/21. This is our N100 control. I'll say more specific, so our Moldex N100 control, which is N100. Cup style. As worn. White. Headband. And we'll go ahead and start with the upstream constant. Where's my upstream? 1.8564. There's 1.8564. Okay, so we'll go ahead and I don the mask. I'm going to be doing this very quickly. I'm not going to answer any questions from anyone. I'm just doing this to document the data set. There you go. You can see the concentration plummet. I just tore that a little bit. Oh, okay, let's test this one. So, some count. Tear this a little bit here, so it's on its last leg. Seems like it's still holding shape. Alright, concentration is... If I stop talking, it'll stabilize. Concentration is like 1.028. Go ahead and move the mouse. Yeah, I did. It's on its last leg. I pulled on it too hard. It's still got some material attached, so we're okay, but it's on its last leg now. I think I have one more of those around. Again, highlights. I've been using this mask since January or August of last year, so a year ago. I've used this mask for 1 year for all of these tested. It still performs excellently, so it highlights that you can reuse these masks. I mean, you can not only reuse the mask, but they don't have a shelf life. They can sell for a very long time. The media itself is very stable. Stabilize 10 seconds, 1.430 even before. I need to turn my generator back on here. 1.430 even before. Alright. So constant filtration efficiency is 100%. It's not really 100%, but it's like 99.99. We'll see if I add more counts to this. Where's that magic? I'm used to Excel. Oh, here we go. So that's more decimal places. It's 99.99%. Yep, that's not about right. So, index, multi zone under control, comes in perfect again. Go ahead, do our N95. I'm going to turn the generator on for a second here, just because the concentration's coming down a little bit lower than I'd like. Just on for a second. For a second. Higher than I'd like. Cassie, I'm not going to answer many questions here. I'm going to focus on testing that because I got to get done with this counter still working because it broke on the last Livestream I recorded. Now it's starting to die. It's going to die here again. So, Casey asked, I recently ordered KF94 face protective mask from Luna. Is that by any chance? Yes, it's on the good list mask. Just check my YouTube channel for I think my last major mask review was back in March of last year because I had stopped testing masks. It didn't seem like we really needed to do that anymore. Alright, 3.584 e to the 4. So let's get this going here. So we're going to do 8, 14, 21, 3M, I've even done this. Yeah, it's an AE210. AE210, N95. This is our control mask. Control, which is N95, which is a cup style. Has worn, white, headband. Upstream concentration 3.33. 4. Go ahead and don the mask. Now I'm going to put my finger in here and get the probe on there. Okay. Probe's on there. Concentration's coming down, so it's 600 particles per cc. I called there 227. Let's stabilize. Seconds to stabilize. 2.768. 2.768. Alright. 99.3. That's pretty good. Now we'll do the next mask, which is the 3M, or sorry, the Evergreen Nano Control Mask. This is a non-rated mask. It's a boat shape. This is the control mask that I always use, so I use 2, so we should get about 89%, 88%, somewhere around there with this mask. We'll let the concentration stabilize, and then we'll don the mask and we'll start the measurement. Just a few seconds here to stabilize. I called there 2.5740 before. Counts, and then we'll don the mask. You'll see the concentration drop down, but not to 0 on this mask because, well, the combination of the filtration efficiency of the mask and the face fit I can get. Typically, it's going to be around 89%. Modulation 25554. 25554. Go ahead and remove the mask. Understand what's going on there. Okay, concentration comes back up. Stabilize for 20 seconds, and then we'll move on to the first mask. I think we'll start today. I want to start with this guy. Most of it I might have to come back to it. This is the flow mask. I put the port onto it, and it's a small mask, so I'll just have to put it over my face and hold it and plug my nose. So that's probably my plan. It's for kids, so all of these tests are going to be a little skewed. You got adult lungs pulling on a kid mask, which is going to be really tight. So we're called there at 2.24 e to the 4. 2.24 e to the 4. All right, it's got 89.4 with the Air Queen, which is exactly what we always get with the Air Queen, about 80-90%. So the test is validated, everything's working good, so all our masks are performing within their normal range. So we'll get started. So again, we're going to use the Flow Kids mask here. So we're going to be very careful not to plug the port. I don't want to plug my CPC. Okay, so the Flow is hooked up. Concentration stabilize there for a second. Should be around 20,000 particles per cc. Alright, I called there 1.198. So we'll get to these other masks in a second here. So let's insert a row above. Copy, paste. Kids mask. It's a non-rated mask. Cup shape. Held to face because I can't wear this as an actual mask. It doesn't fit in my face in the slightest. Gray in color. It's a headband mask. We'll say NA for this because I really can't. I'll just say it's headband, but oops. Alright, here we go. Where's your concentration? Lost my window. 1.860 e to the 4. 1.860 e to the 4. Okay, go ahead and hold. So I'm going to hold it to my face and plug my nose. Okay. I get a good film on my face. Alright, called there 4290. Yeah, so I think that this mask does not perform as well as I think. Now, of course, I'll double check my install at the end of this video. I'm trying to get a first baseline, and my counter's up and running, because if this thing dies, then this is as far as we'll make it. This is a mask that had some claims about it. The manufacturer presented some data. I looked at that data, and I looked at that material that they were using. I kind of figured out who they're using, and I don't quite, yeah, I think that it's going to struggle at 0.1 micron, because there's no real ESP, electrostatic charge on it, so... like I said, I'm not going to answer too many comments here because I have to go as fast as I can to get the test, but if I have a second, I will just look quickly, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking. If I can do it within 2 seconds, it's good. Mind emotion acids, nanofiber typically less. Okay, 1.776. Like I said, I'm not going to have time. I'm really not going to have much time to answer question 1.776, but I will try to do a well thing. Nanofilter material typically does not perform well for this test aerosol. So all these results are my test aerosol to my face, which is the test aerosol is about 64 nanometers. So things like this, I think this is just this is like a spun bond material. It's going to really struggle with that. I'm going to revisit that mask. I got a thing I'm going to try, but I'm going to get to the next mask. So let's do tiny little baby masks. Where's my tiny baby mask? So we got one. Where's the bio at? This is the bio. All right, the bio. Here it is. This is the world's smallest KF94 mask. It has adjustable ear loops, but it is a tiny little mask. Now the question is, can I make this work on my face? This will be some of the challenge, which is why I'm trying to move fast here, because I'm not sure all these will fit my face very well, so we're going to really struggle with that. So the bio is a KF94 ready. It's going to be probably, we'll wait to see if I can get it as worn. It's going to struggle here. All right, so we're still pretty good in concentration. So 1.74 e to the 4. 1.74 e to the 4. Okay, let's go ahead and don the mask and see. Oh man, it's a tiny little mask, but I bet you it'll seal. Nose wire is good. But a little off here, a little off from my face here. Probably gonna have to pinch. Good. Oh, they're 119. Okay, so highlights. KF94 is wear smaller than big. That's always my recommendation. So I did have to pinch nose wire closed because it's too it's too small of a mask for you. So pinched. I'll add a note. Pinched nose wire closed. Okay. So there we go. So there you go. Tiny little kid's mask. Pretty dang good. Let's get her downstream concentration measurement. But it's 99.3. So basically, I can wear. I mean, the reality is this is a constrained test, one face position, one mask. But I mean, in that position, I got as good as that 3M 8210 on a tiny little baby kid's mask. Highlights again that KF94s have good media in them. Okay, so call it there 1.556 e to the 4. Okay, so 99.3. Nice. All right. Let me just double check to make sure that's correct. Getting the correct cell. Yep, 281 H and J. Okay, just want to double check my calculations. All right, so I did that one. So the bio's done. Let's do the next baby kids mask, which is I'm trying to go as fast as I can because I'm going to test masks that I haven't tested before first. So that bio's done. We're going to do another tiny mask. Oh my stuff's moving around here. All right, the next mask up is the WellBefore Petite Small. It's a tiny little KN95 mask. What is this? A mask for ants? Alright, so let's just type it in there. Alright, let's go this from above. So this is today's date. Oops, today's date is not the 10th, it's the 14th, where I'm traveling back in time apparently. So this is the WellBefore Petite Small. So Petite Small KN95. This is the KN95 bifold. Worn. It's blue. Ear loop. And the concentration is, if I can find my window, 1.485 1.485 Concentration gets a little low, so we'll have to bring it back up, but still fine for now. Alright, tiny kid's mask onto an adult face. I'm going to have to pinch that nose wire and hold it with my finger because it's sitting so below my nose. Oh, they're 149. So tiny little kid's mask, good. A little hard to breathe in. I can tell that right away. 149 with the upstream concentration. But yeah, it's a little hard to breathe in, but not bad. We'll wait for that to come up. The next mask we're going to test. I've already tested that. We're going to do this one next. We tested that already before. We tested the birdie before. We tested the bot before. We tested the blue before. We tested that mask before. Or have I not? I have not tested these with the kids label. We got another K-N95. We got the Lutema kids. Tested Posh already. Got the Savewo small. Alright, there we go. 1.344. 1.34484. So we got, what do we get? 99. It's like 99 something. 98.9 for a tiny little kid's mask. Alright, let's bring the concentration back up quickly. Where did I put that? Oh. On the ground. Alright, that's done. That's done. Do the Atiku small. We got the Smile mask. I got the 4C Air. Okay, yep. So I got some masks all queued up here. I think next let's do the Lutema. They rate them KN95. Oh, I should add that I could pinch the nose. That concentration come up for a second. Call it there. Will it stabilize? While it stabilizes, let me jump in and look at the comments really quickly, see if there's anything I answer really fast. So is nanofiber tickle less? Yes, I think I answered that maybe. Nanofiber is not typically as good because of the filter mechanism for small aerosols like I use. Again, I use a unique test aerosol at 65 nanometers. It's not an industry standard. It just works well for me. And again, all these are on my face. Thanks for testing. Yeah, love your vid. Love the arm breast mass. Yeah, I mean, surgically, I mean, no, I didn't spend a ton trying to improve the fit on surgical. I just don't, I mean, I think my argument at this point, just move on from surgical mass, or we use a mass fitter, or use a KF94, or if you have to, K95, or an N95 is also a great option for FFP2. I think just surgical mass by themselves, trying to tweak the fit and get on, like, why? You can go from 77, maybe get to 85, throw on a KF95, and if you can get it to well fit, you're in the 90s, high 90s. Thomas Dispenza, by the way, as a physician, I see your page. Oh, thank you for sharing people. That's good. I really test our arm breast surgery with the headband too, but isn't that an option for my kids to? Isn't an option for my kids to wear school? Yeah, I mean, I think a face mask fitter for kids is great. That's why I think you'll see a review video. KF94 for kids is, I think, the way to go. Or KN95s, something easy for them to get an odd, but they're still better than surgical masks. So surgical masks are, if you have to. At this point, it's like cloth, no. Surgical is like and then you're going to need some better space. Okay. Let that concentration stabilize. Looks like we do have stabilization. Just going to check my counter to make sure that I'm not getting more communication errors. I am getting a few every now and then. It seems like once every 15 seconds it drops the communication, but let's just do fast. Alright, 3.567 to the 4. 3.567 to the 4. Okay, let's go ahead. This is the Lutema mask. Now this is the same mask that's also being sold by Vita. As well as Little Lives LLC. They just take off the Lutema off this. You don't see this, and you just see this made by US. So it's a kind of, I mean, good. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. They just saw someone else's mask. I'm gonna have to pinch the nose wire on this one as well. Call it there at 436. I get a little bit of leakage around like right on the bottom of my chin. I mean, again, this mask does not. I mean, it highlights one thing, which I think I'll talk about it more with kids mask, is go smaller. It's better to err on the side of a smaller kids mask than a bigger kids mask. Same as with adults. I've seen it over and over again. That you can fit a bigger mask, they're just not comfortable when you wear them too small. So you end up just feeling uncomfortable. So it's like smaller, err on the side of smaller, and then work your way up and figure out what fits you. Since you're testing the mask to your face, is it likely that the filtration rate will be higher? No, I mean, yes, I mean, face fit is a mechanism which determines it. So I mean, mask only works as well as it fits to your face. So the answer is, I'm going to test at the best case condition to prove that the masks have the filter media in it, right? Because I'm not trying to prove what an adult that's 2.77, concentration was 2.77 even before there. I'm not trying to prove what an adult can achieve on a small mask, although I effectively am. But I mean, I can leave the nose wire not pinched, and then I would get a worse result. My argument is I'm trying to show that the filter media in these masks are good, and then we'll do some pressure drop measurements, and I'll show you that the KF94 masks have a much better media than even the Lutema or the Chinese or the WellBefore KN95s or other masks. So that's the point of this experiment. Okay, so the Lutema is done. Go ahead and move on to. I got this one here. This is the Happy Life extra small toddler mask. So let's just. I have a bunch of data already here, so that's why I've been inserting lines, because I already have a bunch of data here. So let's do this one. So 08, 14, 21. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the mask on the counter. So this is what it looks like. It does not have adjustable ear loops, it looks like. No adjustable ear loops. That's, I mean, for toddler masks, you know, you can just nod them, but it's nice to have adjustable ear loops. I think it helps keep a good take seat. So let's go ahead and throw it up on there. Stabilize for a second. All right, 2.43 into 4. 2.43 into the 4. Okay. There we go. Now I can, well, drop it back. Give me another tiny mask and an adult face. Oh man, I'm gonna have to definitely pinch the nose wire in this one. Also a very small mask. See if I can get it onto my face at all. It's a little harder. It's like just a little hard to get on my face right now. Definitely gonna have to pinch the nose wire. Not as strong a nose wire on this mask as yeah, I'm getting a little leakage there. I can feel it. So we'll say pinched nose wire. Whoa, let's hope it's these are way too small for my face. Let's go over here and take this. Call it there at 341. I got it like basically the same as Happy Life Good Day, so pretty good considering that is a kid's mask on an adult face. Alright, we'll let that stabilize. Clean CleanTop Evergreen Small. I got one of those right here. Get that staged here. And like I said, I'm going to go as fast as I can here. I have to go fast because I'm just not sure how long this camera is going to survive. It's on its last leg. The serial report started giving me, was flaky. I did take it apart, so maybe I bumped a connection. I didn't check the connection. I popped the cover off and checked the connections, but I don't know what's going on there. It's getting a little flaky. So, could be the USB module too. I did bump that too accidentally when I was moving it. It's kind of smashed it a little bit, so maybe I damaged the module. Who knows? Seems to be behaving better now. Alright, we'll call it there 2.182. 2.182 even. So yeah, 98.5 on a mask that's not the right size for me. Alright, cool. So good. Highlights KF94s. Pretty dang good. What you can't see in that data yet is pressure drop, and I can tell you that at least it feels like the pressure drop is much lower than that mask versus for surely the Lutema. They historically have used a highly protective media, but you know the highly protective media only does so much for you, and it creates a lot of pressure drop. So I'm gonna let the so this is the CleanTop Evergreen Small in color black. Get it connected. Stabilize for a second to make sure we're good there. Toad Peter's asks is a mask fit for children. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this fixed the mask. Or I'm not convinced you want to use headband mask with kids anyways. To be 100% honest with you. All right, let's get this kicking off here. 2.058 even 4. The reason I say not headband masks is because I think they're going to be hard for kids to get in and on and off themselves. I think you need a mask that they can put on and off themselves for sure. I bet I could do this one just as is. It's just a small mask. Got a little fold in the mask right here. Really good. See if I can improve it with the nose pinch. Yeah, I do. Call it there at 68.9. I took my hands off. It's still up a little higher. It's coming up because there's a little bit of leakage right here. I can feel it. But let's get it off and we'll see what the downstream concentration looks like. I'm kind of not being honest here because I didn't do this in order. So let me move this line. Let me move this line to the correct order. So I'm going to cut. And then we're going to insert above. And then paste. Oh, okay, I guess that works too. We'll just delete this line. That way that's in the proper order. So my document kind of implies test orders there, so I don't think that's fair to do that. So 1.812. 812 So we got 99.6. Nice. Now I did pinch the nose wire, so I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to try to fly through this as fast as I can. Pinched nose wire. Closed. I don't know why I just capitalized all that, but whatever. Okay, let's do that. So we're done. Move on from the CleanTop. Done. Getting the highlights. KF94 masks are the best. In my opinion. I just tested a lot of them and they all perform really well. Alright, let's do Savewo Ultra. Small. They do make it kids now. I have it on the way, but I'm not going to get it before I get tested. But let's test this small. I have tested like 4 masks from them. And if they're all good, then in my opinion, Savewo's the business. Now these are not, these are KF94, FFP2. They're not certified, they're rating. We'll call it rating. Okay, so it's a little different than they're not, because they're not some manufactured in South Korea. So they're boat shaped. They've tested against the FFP2, but they're not rating against them because they're out in Hong Kong, and so they would just do an KN95 standard. So when Whitson asks which brand has the smallest KF94 for children, well, they go very small. I'm testing them today. The smallest one is the Bio. We wait for this to stabilize for a second. That's this mask. It's tiny. It's absolutely tiny. So it depends on how old your kid is. They make extra smalls. They're making extra smalls. There's lots of tiny little masks out there, so it just depends on. I'll have a video shortly. All right, let's get this rocked off. So 1.684 e to the 4. Okay, let's go ahead and down the math. I will say that my only complaint about Savewo is their nose wire is not the best. I'm not going to pinch it and see if I get it because this should fit in this mask. Yeah, buddy, look at that. Pressure drop on this mask is so incredibly low. Well, 294, it's kind of bumping around there. 93. I'll test it again with the nose wire pinched. 1, 2. I'm putting off an order that I want to test here because if my counter dies at any moment, I just want to make sure I get the right data. I have no idea how long this is going to last. I think that everyone's really, really interested in this data. I understand why. I mean, everyone's kind of freaking out about kids, as they should. We don't. I mean, regardless of Delta is more likely to hospitalize you. It's so much more contagious that you're way more likely to get it. So we need some protections in place. And remember, masks are your last stop. We should be asking our schools about ventilation and in-room HEPA filters or open windows or stuff like that. We want ventilation. We want air blown in those rooms. So if you're watching, you get kids. I'll talk about my video too. But those are things. 1.538. 98.2. Let's run it again. I'll run it again, but this I'm going to pinch the nose wire. Just curious of how the media stacks up here. Okay. 1.502 e to the 4. 502 e to the 4. Okay, let's go ahead and don the mask again. This time I'm going to pinch the nose wire. Make sure it's sitting on my chest as best as I can. Called her at 243. So not a significant improvement, so likely that's kind of where the media is at. So let it sit there. Wouldn't be surprised if a place like Savewo pushed really close to that 95% limit, whereas I know all of the other manufacturers are really going above 95%. I bet you Savewo is pushing right to that lower limit, and the trade-off of that is that it's really, really breathable. And in the end of the day, we don't really care about 0.1 or 0.3. We really only care about 0.5 micron at the small, so I don't think it's a really bad move to make. But the breathability of that mask is like, it's like light years better than anything else out there. I would make that trade all the time. I'm ordering some kids for my son as well. I don't think they're going to fit him. I think they're going to be too big for him, but I'll order some to see if the kids fit, because it's going to be a very comfortable mask to wear for kids. You can run around it, so it's going to be my mask of choice, and it highlights that Hong Kong mask makers are some of the best in the world right now. 1.375 e to the 4. Okay, yeah, so we got like 98.3. So basically, it's a repeated test, so not like we're going to get much better there. Okay, Savewo's done. I'm going to turn the generator back on, bring our concentration back up. Next up, we're going to do the 4C air test. This is a brand that just sent me a mask. Mask kind of smells like hamburgers or something. I don't know exactly. I don't know how you describe that smell. To me, it smells like cooked hamburger meat. Something like that. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not exactly. It's just some weird smell like that. I mean, it's not necessarily like hamburger meat, but it's kind of weird. All right. Casey Jones, I'll have a, let's see, so Casey, before you log out, give us your top older kids brands, 8 to 12. I'll have a video that I'm going to shoot and edit and publish by Monday, so hold tight. I will answer all your questions there. We got to get this testing done first. Which brand has the smallest KF94 for children? Go to the Google Drive link below. Here, I'll just paste it in. Well, I got to watch this concentration a little closely, but just don't overshoot. It seems like we're not really there yet. Let me do this really quickly. I just had a summary kids mask for sizing. It's not sorted by size yet. So we're testing the limit of my computer. Here's the sizing to date of the masks I've measured. I haven't measured them all yet. I've just been busy. So here you go. Oops. I pasted here. Paste. Oh, here you go. Now you can see that kid sizing stuff. Alright, moving on. Like I said, I'm not going to answer many questions here because I have to get the testing done while my CPC works. It was dead. I spent a lot of time figuring out how to fix it. Got it repaired. Now I want to move on and get these data out while it still works, because it might die at any moment. It is on. It's 25 years old and it's on its last leg, and the serial port's not working right now. Times are funkiness going. So 4C Air. Looks like it's a Chinese brand. I mean, they have a U.S. office, which is weird, but so it's AirTech. We'll say Facey Air. I don't know. It doesn't say on here. It's mostly in Chinese. Air kids mask. I don't know what rating it has. Does it say KN95 anywhere on the packaging? I don't see it on here. Oh yeah, KN95. GB2626. Okay, so it's KN95 rated. It's a bifold. As worn, I'll probably have to pinch the nose wire, so let's do that. It's white. It's got ear loops. And let's let the concentration stabilize for a second here. It's a little higher than I'd like, but it'll be okay. We might have to come back and test 3.896. See what they got. Knock something on the ground, but definitely gonna have to pinch the nose wire. Or I call that 408. It's kind of bumping around a little bit. We're basically met equilibrium, so 99%. Nice work for Air China. Or for Sierra out of AirTech Shenzhen. They're from Shenzhen. Clean technology. Nice work. It's actually pretty breathable. I'm impressed. It's not as breathable as the Clean as the Savewo, but they're whatever they're using is pretty good in there. So good on them for making a good mask. I think they got recommended by the wire cutter, so good for them. I don't all agree with wire cutters mask testing, and if this counter stays alive, not tonight. I gotta shoot this video for kids, but I do have one of those Invo masks that got rated top by the wire cutter with the filter element. I'm not entirely convinced that mask is any good at all, and it highlights wire testers' technique for doing face mask testing, and I think wire cutter is not doing it as well as they could. Better than nothing, but not as good as they could do it. Okay, so we got 3.118 e to the 4, 3.118 e to the 4. So 98.8. Wow, really good. Nice job. Someone just rang my doorbell. I do have an expectation of a package today, so I hope that is a mask that came on time. They weren't sure I was going to make it here on time. I said next day. You want me to test it? Next day. Okay, next up, let's do this one. I don't think I've tested this mask before. I did a home show last night. I don't remember if I did this mask or not. Okay, so this is just another one. This is a different packaging. Oops, I got the wrong date on these. So this is a different packaging of the Happy Life Youth mask. Now they call it, it's all in Korean. I think the other one was just their English packaging, so I think this is the Korean packaging coming out of Collect. Let's just double check it, make sure it's good. I don't know why they changed their packaging. Maybe they just, so this is the Happy Life Good Day, or maybe it's Good Day Happy Life. I can never remember. Small cat packaging. It's got like a cat on it. And we're just gonna do pinched nose wire close. Let's do that because these are all too small for me. This is a KF94 rated mask. It's a oak style. It's as worn. It's white. Oh, that's right. It's black. It's an ear loop, non-adjustable. Here we go. Let's kick it off. Concentration is at 2.926 e to the 4. 2.926 e to the 4. Remember, these are just spot measurements. Data is like, I would love to test like 10 masks through a variety of test protocols, yada yada yada. If I'm going to do some published data, but I'm just trying to do a quick screen. Does it work as they claim it works? So far, all the KF94s, not today, yes. I think the only question is that flow masks. So I'm going to get through all the masks today, and then I got a trick I got up my sleeve for the flow mask. It has the ability to put in your own media on that mask, so I'm just going to double up the recommended media, and we'll see if the result gets a lot better. I got a little fold on the mask here, so just a second here. So it's folded up by itself. There we go. All right, qualified 26. Okay, 98.2, pretty dang good. Oh, I'll leave the mask attached actually, because that's what I've been doing for the rest of them. Stay in the standard protocol. I had a little bit of leak I could feel somewhere there. It was like right here. I could feel like a little tiny leak, and I think it's just the seam of the mask was sitting against my jawline. So they probably could have tested better if it was like a an adult size mask. But I think again 98 too. It highlights these are pretty damn freaking protective. I guess maybe I should do an example of a kid's cloth mask as an example. I guess it's not, maybe just so people see it. I don't know. I mean, I have a huge data set in here that we've tested before. I don't want to test a kid's surgical mask. It's not really a fair comparison on an adult face. I don't know what I want to do there. Some people like these like really nice examples. 2.508. 2.508 even before. Maybe I should steal on my kid's mask and punch it quick. Maybe I will do that. Maybe I'll ask my wife to give me a kid's mask and I'll wear a kid's cloth mask and show you like the magnitude of difference that you get. Maybe I should do that. That would be a good example. Alright, next up. This is the WellBefore K95. Let's do another WellBefore. This is the other larger size that they have. Oh, let's add another 1,000 rows. Who would have thought I would have ever... I guess I don't need 1,000, but let's see. This is the regular size, so this is 8/14/2020. Let me just copy and paste that. It's the petite regular. A lot, quite a bit bigger of a KN95. It's a KN95 rated mask. It's bifold. Oops. It has one. I'm going as fast as I can here. Blue color, ear loop. Mount it up, 20 seconds to get it stabilized. And like I said, I'm trying to go as fast as I can, get all the data while the counter works. Guys, and at the end of my testing, I think still alive. Let's see, we'll answer really quick. I'm a birth teacher and would love to have something that is safe and one that you can hear the person that's speaking. Any KF94 you want. KF94s, like, they don't touch your mouth, they don't muffle you, don't use cloth masks, they're a waste of time. Surgicals can muffle you because they suck against your lips. I have a column called face collapse in the table. None of these masks have collapsed in my face other than like the KN95. I guess I should note that, but I can do that. I usually do that later. Let's see. Happy Life KF94s are available. Would a small work for a teenager? Yeah, probably. I mean, it depends on the face. I mean, small or medium, yes. They have a youth and they have a kid small. Or, sorry, they have an extra small and then they have a small, which is the same as the youth. So, yes, I think the small may work. Probably confusing, but 2.554 E to the 4. 2.554 E to the 4. There we go. Let's do this thing. Ooh, that's tight, man. I don't think I'm going to have to pinch the hose wire on this one. It actually goes across the full width of my nose. I'm gonna have to pinch the nose wire. I can feel it. I gotta flatten the nose. It's leaking right where the bridge is. So for those that are watching, if you ever want to fix it, just pinch that flat. I don't know. I hate that they fold them in half like that. You have to always do that with the mask. Just flatten that nose wire. Seal up the nose wire. at 192.4. Nice work. Well, before, not the most breathable. Definitely can notice the highest pressure, a little higher pressure up on that versus the air thing. But definitely protective. Oh, why do I keep taking it off the mask? Leave it on the mask until the smudge is done here. Come on now. All right, that's done. Next we got up. Let's do the airs. These are the smalls for bifolds. I mean, again, we'll see if I can get them to seal to my face. If I can't, it just highlights. I mean, bifolds typically don't work very well in my face anyways, but everyone wants to see the data for their specific mask. I get it. You're freaked out. You don't want to have, how do you know that this is a good mask? You see my data set, you're saying, oh, the mask I want is in there. I saw it tested, I feel comfortable. So I get people like that. So I'll just give them that data. All go with me. All right, 1.954 E to the 4. 1.954 E to the 4. 99.1. Good job. All right, let's test the air small. Let's see. Make sure I get the right. Yeah, AER small standard fit. It's called AER standard fit small. Let's see what we got to do. This is a KF94. It's a bifold KF94. I'll show you why I don't like them. It's worn, it's black, and it's here. Alright. So, for 30 seconds while we wait, and I'll do this in the video too. This is why I like KN95 style bifold better than the South Korean version. See how this has this hook at the bottom? See how it's like this radius? That means that your face only fits this very narrow range. Whereas the taper works much better. So if your face is smaller, it basically goes down the taper or up the taper. That taper is really important. The taper on the top and bottom. So they have a taper on the top, but they don't have a taper on the bottom. That's why the Korean bifold design, not a fan. I mean, the KN95 is a better shape, in my opinion, for a bifold than is the Korean style. So it doesn't mean that just because it's, just because it's Korean, I don't love it. There's a lot of, I'm not a fan of the Korean bifolds. I just wish they would fix that design. I don't like that taper design. Or not, sorry, not the taper, the hook, I call it the hook design because it hooks under your chin. And so, because of that shape, it just never really seals that well. Alright, let's get it stabilized. We're good. Call it there at 1.78 E to the 6. 1.78 E to the 6. Okay, here we go. Tiny little. Yeah, definitely leaking here already. We'll see. I gotta pinch the nose wire on this one because I only flatten the nose wire too. Same thing, so you just take your thumb and you can flatten it, and then when you put the bend in, it'll seal it into your face. Yeah, this is a tiny little mask. Woo. Yeah, I'm gonna pinch the nose wire on this one too. Oh, they're 48.12. 48.12. 99.7. Good for them. I'm going to try this again without the nose wire pinch, just to see how well a small fits me. Again, it highlights. It's better to err on the side of a small mask. They'll be tighter to your face and seal better. As soon as it gets big and flexy and floppy, it's over. Thanks, Imperatus one. Glad I can help. Glad I can help. Some people say this is my hobby. It's not. It's not my job. I don't really enjoy it anymore. I mean, after like the first test, I was kind of like, all right, I do it just to tell people. I feel it's my moral obligation to 1.578. If you can help people, you have a moral obligation to help people. All right, 99 cents. Let's try it again without the nose wire pinch. I think this would be a good example about face fit. I usually say I hate Korean bifolds, but this, I'll show you why this one's fitting me. So let's try it again here. 1.568. Okay, let's go ahead and don it. No nose pinch this time. I can feel it, but let's see if we can get it to seat. Alright, call there. 268. So we get about 2% leakage, something like that. Would not pass a fit test, NIOSH fit test, but it fits me because you can see that it seals on my chin. If that mask were longer, it would hang off the bottom of my chin. It wouldn't sit to the bottom of my chin, and then it wouldn't seal at all. So that's kind of the problem I have with Korean bifolds. Hurry up. I can't really tell. I mean, I want to tell the hurry up. Stay listening. Just get on the next mask. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do this. We'll do this one again. All right, 1.448. So yeah, 98.2. So quite a bit of leakage there. You can see that the nose wire and that area around the nose wire was causing leakage for me. And that's, you know, one of the contributors to why these masks are ear loop. They're not gonna, you're never gonna get like, you know, talk another video about fit testing. So just quickly while we're here, I'm gonna move on. I talk about fit testing a lot, but this is the Atiku small women's and the Atiku small men's, and they're the exact same. The only difference, like I can't maybe not tell the video, but they're like literally the exact same size. The only difference between the men and the women in the small, there are differences in the larger sizes, but in the small, the men have a little cutout here, and the women have a round right here. Whatever. Way to market. Way to market. Gotta differentiate your product between men and women, because somehow, I mean, there are physical differences between men and women's faces on average, but like a little ear loop cutout, come on, come on. So this is a Tika, I don't know exactly, I always say Atiku, but it's not UA, it's a Tika small. They have a name for it. What's it called? They call it like women's round, the round face. I don't have the labeling here, but we'll call it round. Okay, 94, 5-4, as worn. Black. Oops. Black. Ear loop. Now the one thing that's really nice about these is they're like super plush on the inside. If you have people that like don't like rough things against their face, these are the masks for you. What am I doing here? Pay attention here. Okay, I'm gonna kick the generator on after this one. 1.337 U. 337. Okay, let's kick it on. Again, I'm gonna pinch nose wire. It's too small. Go out there at 170. 170.0 is what I saw on the screen, so 98.7. Yeah. Concentration stabilizer. It looks like I had a bad data point there. What happened there? Did I have a real high count like that? No. Oh, I had an error in my data. Ah. Check for when a communication goes wrong. It has a slight mistake in it. So I just gave 99, like a really high value there. Oh well. We can fix that another time. Alright, 1.232 e to the 4. Alright. 98.7. Pretty good. Let's try it. We'll move on. Be right back while I wait for the 10-minute picture. I got something to grab. Marker too. Alright, I'm back. Turn it off there, let it stabilize for a second. While it stabilizes, I'm gonna try that flow again. So 76% with one filter media. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the single cartridge filter. I'm gonna put 2 in here. 1. It doesn't say which way it wants up. Let me see, there's no marking on this for a particular orientation, but I'll put the texture out. Or the, like a, not a texture per se. I get the wind blowing from my fan over there. Alright, so we'll put 1 together, 2 together. I guess I could just use this as a template. That's a good idea. Wait for this concentration soon. I'm going to put 2 filters in this thing. Because I have a feeling that if I put 2 in here, then we'll start to get some decent results on this thing. So, can't really mark it like that. That's not really what I want to do here. So let's see if I can even fit 2 in the little housing. Let's see if I can fit 2 in there. I'm going to email the flow dude and tell him he needs to get some infinite data. He's using manufacturer data, which is like, if you're going to be a mass company and you don't have the ability to test your product, I can't really tell you much other than you need to do a better job. I like what they're trying to do. Don't get me wrong. I like what they're trying to do. But you got to be able to test your stuff or have a lab that's doing it for you. You can't just fly blind. Ugh, I'm going to break this thing. It's really hard to get 2 in there. It's going to have to use double the thickness. Let's try this in here. Maybe this won't work. Alright, we'll come back to this in a second. Focus, Aaron. Focus on what you need to get done. We got just a few minutes left. Sorry, I was distracting myself. Alright, Atiku was small. Ah, look at that. I even put it in the wrong bag. See? There's so much sent away. I even put it in the wrong bag. What did I test? I just tested this one, so I tested Atiku was small. I didn't test the round. I tested the men's version. Doesn't say what that is. Alright, we'll just test it. We're done with it. So this is not the women's. This is not the small route. This is like, I'm just gonna put small min picture, and then I'm gonna put and I'll say there's a women because there's a woman on the picture. Which I know, yes, ma'am, determining her gender based on her appearance on the outside. I know it's not really kosher, but. Okay, so I'm going to flatten the nose wire. Hook it up. Stabilize. Then I'll try to see. I want to see if I can get 2 filters in that housing for the little flow dye and see if I can further improve the filtration a little bit there. And, you know, I saw this, that the kids masks are not as, the Posh is not as good as the best adults. I generally agree. The Posh is kind of compromising a little bit of breathability in the Posh for like print stuff, which, you know, whatever. All right, 2.318 E4. So, you know, it is what it is. Oh, they're 144.9. Oh, apparently they like the women better than men, so they made their mask fit women. No, not really. That other one, they probably had a little leak somewhere on my face, and you just can't feel it when they're that tight. I'll take off the mask, so I'm not gonna. It's not a big deal. So the problem is when you get to really high filtration efficiencies, where you're talking like 98.7 versus 99.5, I can't feel that with my face. Like, what happens is like it becomes very, very difficult to actually feel any leakage. They feel basically the same to me. So it's like above 95, you really can't tell. But to 90% for sure, you can tell at 90%. I can very repeatably tell you if I have a leak on my mask, and to get to 90% for sure. 5-year-old wears a blue KF94 Tiger mask. I'm guessing 8-year-old wears the Luna, and the 10-year-old wears a Bot Medium. That's kind of what I was getting to. Thanks, Jordan, Family, and Jade. Those are really helpful. Actually, in the next video, I'm going to ask people to tell what their kids are, gender and age, and put what the mask they like the best so far, just to help other parents and kind of crowdsource that a little bit, because ages and faces and kids are, you know, they're just all over the place. It's really hard. It's hard enough with adults, let alone add in, you know, growing and stuff like that. So kids can be at different developmental stages in terms of physique. So it's not quite. It's really hard. It's going to be really hard to do the kids mask. I'm just telling you that right now. All right. Women's version. I gotta keep them together because I'll have my video, and I'll make sure I tell everyone that the silver thing is something I punch in the mask every time. So you'll probably see that in every discussion because everyone always asks. All right, 2 masks that I wanted to test because we're at the end of the kids' mask and it's still alive. So now I can play around. This is the Aegle PPE1. They sent me some N95s because they're like, hey, they fit our kids, kind of. I think they can fit older kids. Let's see how well they work. It has high pressure drop, I can tell you that. The Aegle PPE F100, but it's an N95. Weird name. That's fine. It's a KN95 style. Oh, it's white. It's heavyweight. Let's see how they work. I'm sure they're good. I've yet to find a fake NIOSH. I'm sure they are. I think they just have high pressure drop. And part of my argument is make sure your mask is cheap then. Because if you're going to go against 3M, 3M is very good masks. So you have to beat them on cost if you don't have a very good media. All right, 1.930 e to the 4. Let's don the mask. My pin over. Very soft. It's really soft on the inside. Good than that. Getting a leak right here. Okay, right here. So I'll do it no nose pinch. A big mask. Oh, they're 215. Doesn't fit me very well. Alright, here we go. Hold it up. Hard to say if that's media or that. Just doesn't seal my face very well. But I think I would have passed a fit test. 98.9. I bet you. I bet you I would have passed a fit test on this because I have some filter media that some particles are going to go through the media too. But I would have passed a fit test on it, so it's got back on for it. It is legit. We'll do a nose pinch check, see if it's the nose wire that was not really sealing that well. I wish they, I don't know, wish manufacturers would put really good nose wires and stuff. This one's okay, but it's not amazing. It's not very stiff. Alright, called there 1.73 uniform. So 98.8. So I probably would have technically passed a fit check. Well, actually, when you include motion, I probably would actually not have. I'm just doing a single condition test, so technically I probably actually went right on the limit, so when I probably would move my face around, it would probably not, oops, this is getting going here, 1.686, 1.686, let's go ahead and on this. Called it 95.15. 95.85, sorry, 95.85. Pop it off. Upstream measurement. Copy paste it. So highlights, nose wire is really important. Probably see what it looks like. I mean, some leakage is going to happen too, because technically these can still be N95 mask. Even in my test, it could be like, most media is much better than that, but like, there's a possibility that the media is not as high as like a 3M media, so there's like a chance of that. So, it is what it is. But it's protective. It's good. It's just nothing amazing. So hopefully they're inexpensive. All right. So what do we do? How do we do? Yeah, 99.4. So if we assume that's like I didn't have any leaks there, I would have passed a fit check on it. So that's good. It's U.S. made manufacturer. Better than other masks that I've tested. Yeah, the nose wires is not very stiff. Okay. Last mask. The one everyone's been waiting for. The smile mask. I know everyone wanted to know about this mask. It's good for people. I think it's a good mask because it actually works well for people that have hearing disabilities or need to see important for teachers, but they're going to be really hard to get, which sucks, because getting stuff out of Savewo is a little hard because they're out of Hong Kong and they're focusing on the domestic market right now, so it kind of sucks. Alright, let's kick it off. So 081421, this is the Savewo Smile mask. We only have it in a single 5. It has a rated value, but it is not certified to. It's a boat style. It's as worn. It's white. It's near me. And the upstream concentration is 1.436 e to the 4. Let's go ahead and don this thing. It's going to be a little funky because I couldn't put the port in the middle because I can't. I'm going to get a little bit of leak here. I can feel it already. The nose wire isn't super stiff. Get it right there. Oh, it's because the tube's pulling on the nanofiber some fucking on. Yeah, it's like pulling just a little bit on the nanofiber. Gotta keep it off my face though. Alright, this will be a little awkward, but let's do it. Probably like 1282. I'm getting a leak. We'll see it a little bit better. So one of the issues is I can feel it's harder to breathe in this mask because of the big portion of the window is there. And so I can feel it leaking right here. And why did that be that the tube is there? I'm trying to hold it against if that sucks to my face, then I plug my CPC and then I'm in really big trouble. So look at a baseline here. I'm going to try it again. I'm going to shorten the ear loops a little bit. And I'm going to see if I can get that seal to go away. I think I just need something to pull a little harder on this side, so we'll see if we can improve that a little bit. Let's stabilize here for a few seconds. I'd like to see if we can get a little bit. Let's try it again. Let's get 97. Not great. Not great. Question is that media or is that a leak? And I think it's a leak because I can feel it. So I'm going to take the ear loops and I'm going to knot them and tighten them up a little bit. I wish they did come with adjustable ear loops on the Savewos. Because the ear loop material is amazing. It's like just a great material. But the problem is that they're a little long. I don't know if people are using. People might be using mask clips with these intentionally. I don't usually use a mask clip. Okay, so I shorten the ear. Let's see if that fixes the problem. Having this tube hang off the side of the mask is definitely weird. There we go. Oh, shit. Oh, see that? That's no bueno. It sucked in my face. Shit. Covered. I can feel it leaking right here. And the tube's like, nope, touched my face again. Okay, so this is going to be pretty much, I think. face. I'm gonna flood this if I'm not careful. I gotta be really careful. I'm playing with the depth. I'm being a little dangerous here. Because I need it to touch my face, I think that's the problem. I can't really. This is not going to work. I don't think this data is accurate because as soon as I get it to seal to my face, this is sealing to my face. I gotta probe it right through the plastic. Shit! I only have one of these left because I sent my other two out already. Try it one more time. You know what I can do? I can get a cotton ball. That's what I want. Let me see if I have a cotton ball. Put a cotton ball there so it doesn't suck to my face. Okay, cotton ball's gonna filter, but it's gonna filter like nothing. Let's see if I have a cotton ball. Oh, the makeup pad. Where am I? Sorry, no makeup pad. Oh, there's a cotton. I got cotton balls. Never mind, I got cotton balls. Put a cotton ball there so it doesn't suck to my face. It can suck through the air with the cotton ball. Looks good. Yep, there you go. I call it 249. I won't get an upstream check. I'm just gonna have a downstream check on this, and I'm gonna leave that cotton ball on top of there to see if to simulate my face. So the cotton ball is sitting on top of the port, and we're gonna measure that concentration there, and we'll see how it does. Okay, I can't switch tabs. Use the mouse, dude. So the cotton ball might be acting as a filter too. So we'll see. We'll get a baseline. Concentration is super low though. Damn it. Alright, 7368. Nah, too low. 96.6 though. Okay, so I think that's okay. So that's good. So that's kind of probably the issue is that this test. So I'll just put a note. So Rose one what the cotton ball does. Let's turn this generator on. We'll just do it again here. So the cotton ball is just there, so it keeps it away from my face, so it doesn't suck to my face. Because you can flood the CPC if I'm not careful here, and I got to be really careful because I don't want to have to flood the CPC. Then I have a lot more work to do on my pipe. So we'll just kick it up here. All right. Here we go. Alright, back to, we'll wait for that to come up for a second. See if I can do two of these. 1 Okay, that'll work. Okay, we do that. Alright. Where we got concentration lines? Coming up. Second one here. I'm going to click it off. Alright. So I can get 2 of the medias in the mask, although it's a little bit of a pain in the ass, so we'll see, we'll punch it. And there it goes off. So, I mean, it can be done, but I don't think the media is very... They're using spun bond. They know better. They should know better than that. Where's my punch at? I only have like 22 ports left. I'm going to test 20 more masks, but I have to get more ports, and I'm not going to buy another box. Well, I don't have to buy the last batch. If I have to buy them, it's a couple $100, and I really need the 500 of these things. Alright, let's do this. We'll wait for that concentration to stabilize for a second. I'm going to punch this filter media for the flow mask. So you can see what happens if you put 2 medias in there. Better results. I bet you pretty much can guarantee that the media's not going to work. Okay. Concentration is stabilized. Let's do the flow mask, or I mean the smile mask, this time with cotton ball. Oh shit, that cotton ball does filter. Look at that. That cotton ball. Let me take the cotton ball off. See the concentration. Oh shit. Well, there you go. Just make a mask out of cotton balls. Well, that complicates this challenge. I guess I can't do a cotton ball. How the hell am I going to do this? I could plug this and report it. I'll plug the port with some duct tape and I'll report it off the top by my nose. Alright, so the smile mask is going to have to get reported. I gotta see where I can put a port. It's like not any space to put a port, but I can probably put one right there. Right here. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. I gotta get some tape to plug this, or a port, or a piece of tubing that I can knot. Let me do that after this. Let's do the flow mask first, and then I'll go get a piece of tubing so that I can report the flow mask, and I'll plug the other port. Not like having this much 2 filter media there. Yeah, it keeps popping out there. Might have to use my duct tape for this too. Alright, maybe I just need to duct tape this thing on. Okay, it's on. It's on. Okay. Let's try it. Okay, it's on. It's not popped off. I'm going to delete the cotton ball one because I don't think that's a really appropriate test. I don't think the cotton ball is a good choice. You can filter. This is the Flow Kids Mask double filter. Double filter. Filter. Spell. There we go. Stabilize at everything's looking pretty good there, so that stabilized to me 3.355 or 3.355 U4. Yep. Let's go ahead. We'll do the same thing. I'm gonna use just my mouth to breathe through it. Pulling up my cloth so I can see it. 2722. Yeah, that's not enough. It's better, but it's not enough. So we got 91.9. Now, is that theoretically the same as what we would expect? So let's say it was 75%. So what would we get? So we got 75%. So to calculate the fractional efficiency of a filter, we're going to take 1 minus its fractional friend. And what did we get? Actually, let's just double check. What did we get on the first one? 76.4. 1 minus 76.4. And then since we added another layer, we got 1 minus 0.764. And the theoretical 2-layer would have been then 1 minus that. Yeah, so I bet you we're a little off, so there's probably some leaks, but that's about right. 94.4 would be in the theoretical, and we got 91.9. Okay. Highlights media. He's gonna get an email from me. Dude's gonna get an email from me. I won't blast him on Twitter yet. Yeah, you need to test your own mask. You can't just rely on the media rating. You need to do a mask test. If you're gonna make claims, you gotta prove it. I mean, I like what he's doing. So first of all, I think this mask design is actually really good. I think it's an awesome design. I just think that the media isn't that good. He focused on breathable media, and it probably has no electrostatic charge, so my test aerosol is going to be really hard for it. But so it's not low. So let's see, double filter, it's non-rated, cup style. Oh, pay attention there. You get the concentrate 2.7840. So okay, so it's like, yeah. So we definitely got an improvement in filtration efficiency going to 2 filters. I don't think we can do 3 on this thing because it's just going to choke. So it might still be leaking around the edge of the filter because I can't get it to seal that tightly. In terms of my face, let me look at this design, make sure that this design doesn't have any internal leaks. No, it's sealed nicely to the plastic. They did a good job there. The overmold is good. Try it again here. This thing won't stay on. Let me go get a piece of duct tape and I'll tape it on. Maybe it's possible that I have this thing clipped open a little bit here. Maybe. Let me get a piece of duct tape here. I gotta get a piece of duct tape anyways. We'll be right back. For those watching the live stream. Back. Let's try it again. Maybe the leak case is leaking because I have 2 filters in there. So maybe we would have got better data. Alright, come on, duct tape. I'm stronger than you. Oh! Gorilla tape, too strong. Oh! Alright, let's try this here. Nothing duct tape can't fix. So there was like a little piece of this that was not connected. Color isn't perfectly connected, so let's just try it again. Or maybe it's leaking around the media. Now my test aerosol is small, so if you have no electrostatic media, it's going to be tough for you. But I'm telling you, you gotta do better than if it was 85 or something like that. Okay, maybe that's fine, but 71%. Now it could be a lot of things. Mostly it's like this tiny filter area, so they're already doing that. I got it. So then when you do this kind of analysis, you say, okay, you tested your mask. Double filter. I'll say duct taped clamp, or what do you call that? I'll call it the clamp. You do the filter, you do the calculation of what's your face velocity for a child breathing. Maybe that, I'm definitely an adult, so it's a harder test. I'm not going to lie, it's not a harder test. But you saw the KF94 masks, none of them struggled. but the effective filter area on this mask is really small. All right, here we go. I always want to make sure when I'm making a claim that I've at least tested to make sure it's not my apparatus. I mean, it still could be my apparatus, so that's fine, but then you got to go publish your data. So if he had published data, the gentleman that then it would be a different story, but it doesn't, so maybe I'm wrong, maybe he's wrong. What, 2.185 e to the 4. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and don the mask. $23.59, let's call it there. So, not much different. I don't think we had a leak there, yeah, so 89.2. Okay. Seconds here. Plug that other test port. God, this duct tape is so strong. Let me try the other piece here. I don't mess around with this Gorilla tape. Holy smokes. Okay, let's plug this port. Don't need it much. Let's get a crystal. What's our concentration? 1.976 e to the 4. 1.976 e to the 4. 88.7. Okay, so yeah, it's about so. The leak on the front of that was not the problem. Sorry, Flow Mask. Can't recommend you. Show me some independent data, and then I will. I have a hard time testing it because it's not for adults, or send me an adult mask and I'll test it, but show me the media rating on that thing, to be honest, first. Okay, so I'm just going to duct tape the port closed. It's maybe not the best way, not the most best, it's not really the best way to do this. Yeah, I need like a plug. Let me just put it up right on the end. Like a little silicone plug, taper plug. I may not be able to test the Smile mask. I punched it in the wrong spot. I don't have any extras. Let's see if I just do it this way and see what I can get. I think that's okay. I think that's okay. Let's see. It's worth a chance. Let's puncture it one more time. Up on the nose. Okay. I'm just talking to myself. You guys can be entertained while I talk to myself, but I want to make sure to test this mask. She has no front panel. Alright, just working on my face. All right, then we're gonna stop playing around. I'm gonna go test some filtration, and then I'm gonna go shoot a video. I'll change, shoot a video, and then we'll go from there. And then I'll edit it tonight, and tomorrow, everyone, we're gonna watch a video about this. Okay, here we go. I was just off screen. I didn't go too far away. All right, let's do this thing. 1.683 e to the 4. It's our upstream concentration. Now I got the test port duct taped up. We'll see what happens. If it doesn't work, can't say for sure either way what's going on here. Oh, that's weird. But it works. Right here where it's falling on the nose. Alright, call it there. 4444. I had to hold the nose because the wire, the tube's pulling on the mask right there, so that's just a really bad place to port it, but let's see what we end up with. I think that's actually pretty dang good. So we got, yeah, 97.4. Okay, yeah, so the smile mask works. You just don't port it on the side like an idiot, like I did. So test port, so let's just update. So test port on top pan. Well, let me get the thing. The mask is in the way of my keyboard. Test port on panel. Alright, 1.494 e to the 4. Yeah, 97.2. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so test port on top panel. Test port moved to wrong button. Okay, let's get this mask. I gotta get out of the way of the keyboard. It's in a weird spot. All right, test port moved to top panel. Nose wire pinch. Okay, so it does work though. So that's good. It's good. It's actually quite breathable. I just have to remember that nose wire pinch. And when I do that with my breathing test. But actually, it's really good. So 97.2, I'm not surprised by. That's awesome. Nice work, Savewo. So the Savewo Smile. Now, here's the coolest thing about the Savewo Smile. This thing does not fog. If you watch, I'll breathe out. Doesn't fog. Not in the slightest. Does not fog. Good for them. They make a good product. So, good job, Savewo. Good mask. Okay, that's it. That's all the masks I got to test. So we are good. I'm going to turn off my counter because it worked. Well, it's still done. We were successful. Good job, counter. And if anyone has any questions, I'll see if anyone has any questions in the live stream, and then I'm going to go shoot a video. I was 19 people watching on a Saturday. It's a beautiful day outside. I should be outside today. Let's see if there's anything here. Oh yeah, Eric. I'm not sure how to last it. Fiegelding? I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but yeah, that was cool that he retweeted that. That's good. Yeah, the Jordan family had said that they were a 5-year-old wears a blue, an 8-year-old wears a blue and kids, and a 10-year-old's on the bottom medium. I think that's kind of roughly what I'm thinking is about roughly that size range, but it's really hard with kids. I'm most curious about pressure drop and QF on the CleanTop Evergreen Small. You'll have that data soon. I just did the filtration efficiency, so we'll see what the pressure drop looks like in a little bit. I gotta go do that on my table. Does the spreadsheet have good, reliable suppliers? Yeah, that's on the far right hand side of the thing. Slide all the way to the right. There's multiple, and it's just when I say suppliers, I say source. That's where I got them from and tested them from. Aaron, I bought Balloonic, or at least got the other one, compared the packaging, opened them up, compared the mask really closely, and verified that, like, look, these are exactly the same. So either the world's best fakes, or most likely the other suppliers are legit as well. Aaron, I bought a Balloonic kids mask from Flax Protection, and they seemed like the legitimate supplier. People are looking for more suppliers. I can take a look at Flax Protection, I guess. Depends where they're at. I bought some Nupuliums. Fit was too large. Normally I wear a large, and the chin was shorter than it. Like, yeah, they kind of have like short flaps on those masks. Where's a good place to buy cape that aren't so expensive? Collect is cheaper, but actually right now Be Healthy is really cheap too. The first batch is usually a little bit more expensive because you got to buy, like, you don't want to buy one of every size, so it's like $25 plus shipping. But then if you buy 100, they're $1 each. So, I don't know. You could always, if you want cheaper, go to G Market. You can order straight from South Korea and pay the shipping. But again, you got to buy in volume to make that worth your time. So that's kind of the nature of the beast. Otherwise, N95's N95 project. Let's take a look there. So I got this active. Let's see if this works. So if I click plus here, do you guys still see this? Yeah, cool. So N95 project. I saw them recently. They were chatting. I gotta reach back out to them. I haven't had a chance. I've been busy, but let's see. Go N95 masks, N95 respirator. Let's see. Whoop. My son's jumping around upstairs. Let's see what they're charging. You can get like $1.50 for the Aegle that I tested. That's pretty cheap. $14 for a Gearson N95 for 20 of them. That's really cheap. Demtex are $1 each. No, that's $2. 20 box of 20. Sorry, a box of 20. So it's like $2 a mask. Gearson. Yeah, so these are just a little under $1. These are nice masks. Hey, let's check out N95 project. They got some cheap options on there. Yeah, good on them for that. Other than the Respoke, I don't like the Respoke. It smells funny. Alright, cool. So anyways, check out N95 project. They got cheap N95s if you want to go that route. Let's see. Hey, Walter. How you doing, Walter? I hope all's good with you. Hey, brother, I see you're back. What do you think of the copper-infused mask? And do they actually work for good protection in comparison to a KF94 and KF80 self-treat mask? So, very good, easy. That's an easy answer. So the first requirement of a mask is it has to filter. And so these copper masks, copper-infused and silver-infused and virus-killing masks, if they're just a cloth mask with virus killing in them, it doesn't help. You got to capture the virus first and then kill the virus. If they don't capture the virus and they go in your lungs, who cares if they can kill the virus that's good on the fabric if it never gets on the fabric and goes through it and into your lungs instead? So first thing for a good mask is 1, it has to have high filtration. 2, it needs to have it has to be you have to have a good fit, so it has to fit your face. 3, it has to be comfortable so you can wear it all day. And then if you want to have virus killing capabilities, sure, you can have that as the 4th thing, but it needs to have the first thing, high filtration. And so far, none of those masks have I seen have high filtration in them yet, because then you can't wash them, and so then you have this like fancy fabric on the outside that you can't wash, and then you have to throw the mask away. So it's like it doesn't make financial sense for those companies to do that. So they keep selling cloth masks that kill the virus, but they don't capture the virus, which is the important thing. Will pressure drop data be on the mask test today? Yep, I'll do that as soon as I'm on the live stream. Go sit on my table and do that quickly. What story did you mention for the KF94? Just go to the KF94 listing, slide to the right. Or actually, better yet, go to my YouTube channel and look at my latest mask review video that was back, I think it was March or April, or no, it was May. I think it was May. Anyways, go to the mask review video. Look at my last one. It'll say like top picks for a mask. Just go to that, watch that video. It has all the links for everything you need right in that video. For the Smile mask, you said the particle filtration was 444, but you typed 444. Oh, did I have a typo? Thank you. Shit. No, was it 4? Oh, no, I don't know. No, 444. It was probably 44.4. I'll look back in the stream and watch that. So that's exact. But hey, good catch, Thomas. I will double check to see what that said on the counter. It's in the upper left corner of the screen. I'm pretty sure it was, I meant to say 444.4, which makes more sense because 44444 is like 70%. I would have definitely noticed a leak that size. So I will check back on the video and watch that again and double check to make sure I did not make a typo there. But thank you for catching that. I just bought some Savewo Ultras from Place. Hope are as good for Place US. Hope are good. Do you know anything about it? Yes, so the Savewo from Place is like basically a distributor. Well, not really a distributor. So they just like buy Hong Kong masks and resell them and do all the shipping for you. I have bought some through there, and I received them, and I didn't test them because my counter was dead. So I just compared like the physical mask to the Ultras that got sent to me directly by Savewo, and they are literally identical. Everything's the same on them. So either they're the world's best fake of a very rare mask, or they're just buying and reselling it. So I have no issue with Place. I recommend them. So I did buy from Place, and I bought from Taiwan Mask. Both of those ship the exact same product. Again, I could not test them because my counter's been down for the last couple months. It died in that last live stream a while back, and I've been working on fixing it. Spent all week this week, late at night, working to get it back up. So, yeah. So, yes, those are why I recommend those two places. I guess I could have brought those in and tested them. Now that I think about it and say that, I should have maybe tested the other suppliers. But, oh well. I'm not too worried about it. It seems low risk to me. All right, last any questions? Here we go. Otherwise, I'm going to go sit at my table, do pressure drop measurements for all the masks that I need to do. Actually, I'm going to do all the masks because my previous pressure drop measurements never a good. It's not day to day; it varies from day to day. Aaron 2.0 didn't work. Aaron 2.0 actually worked. The vacuum pump that I bought to use on Aaron 2.0 for that thing was not powerful enough to pull enough flow to measure a pressure drop. The gauge I had, so either I had to buy a new gauge, which is like $80, or I had to buy a new vacuum pump, which is like $500. So I was like, well, this vacuum pump that I got used for super cheap didn't work, and I didn't really feel like spending a ton of money to go do that when no one was really interested in mask stuff. So we're going to use the old Aaron lung test to do the kids' masks. So I'm off to go do that. Any questions? Oh, minor point, but did you notice any issue with the melted in bot logo on your large bot mask creating any sort of minor inflow? Probably not an issue if it's not in the main media. I don't have any buttons with me, but it's very, very common that you have ultrasonic welding to make a transparent logo. Actually, the best example is the Lutema. So it's transparent, but it's not a hole, right? You can see behind it, but the media itself is just turned into a solid plastic. When they ultrasonically weld it squishes all the fibers together, they fuse together, and you basically get a very thin layer of clear plastic, but it is not permeable to air. So it's optically you can see through it, so visibly it's transparent, but it's not permeable to air. So it's not an issue. But if you can put your finger behind it and see your finger clearly through it, like a pinhole leak, that would be a problem if you see that with bottom. I have heard some rumors of some quality differences with the latest batch of bottons. I don't use bottons anymore. I mean, I have them and I use them every once in a while. But in general, my stash of bottons is from a year ago when I bought 100 of them. So I haven't been following them too closely. But if anyone else sees that, let me know about if you're seeing issues with bottons. All right. Well, I'm gonna go to the kitchen table, do pressure drop measurements. I'm gonna shoot a video today. And I'll edit tonight. I'll be hopefully live tomorrow morning, and then I'm done testing masks. No offense, I'm tired. This is not my hobby. This is my job. So I'll do it for the kids because I got one myself, and I want parents to feel comfortable. But otherwise, this will probably be the end of it for a little while. All right, thanks everybody. It's great hanging around. Thanks for watching, and hope everyone's having fun. Have a great afternoon.